Hello, welcome back to my series in Factorio where I'm attempting to build a mega base. My name is Azraelle. Come along with me as we continue our adventure. The very first step we're doing here is doing something I've been talking about for a very long time. I'm finally setting up boxes, or chests I should say, that will supply me with the basic materials I need, such as iron, copper plates, steel plates, and about to go over here and do the same thing for electronic circuits. Getting all those levels set, and that should be good for now. That'll be so helpful in the future. Get rid of some things in my inventory because that has been clogging up a lot lately. Picking up some more steel before the chest has a chance to fill up, because I'm going to build some more storage tanks. But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and finally set up some pipe assembly. Bring in a line of iron plates over here from the main bus. And the way I have this set up is that the first machine will make the straight parts, and it'll feed into the second machine that makes the underground parts, and then once that output box fills up, it'll just start backfilling with the regular pipes again. And as you can also see here, I'm completely undoing all of the progress I did in the last episode regarding the oil processing, because I've figured out a much better way to handle it. And the first part of that includes more storage, hence why I was building the storage tanks. And then also going to be building a few more refineries to be handling some of that output, because I realize I'm using a lot more petroleum gas than I'm actually producing, so I need to produce more. I'm going to set up a third refinery over here. Get all the outputs done. Go over here to my handy new assembler and get some more pipes. Sort out some research first. It's just not going quite fast enough for my taste, so I'm going to craft a couple of those in my inventory while I set up a fourth refinery. There goes that research. I knew it was going to be quick. Alright, there's 4 refineries total. I'm going to connect all the outflow pipes where they're supposed to be going. And that's going to be a great amount of oil right there. And then for the cracking field, I'm just going to do that over here in the field to the east, where I can make it all sorts of organized and looking pretty and all that. It's what I should have done in the first place. This seems to be a theme in these last couple of episodes, that the first part of the episode is dedicated to fixing the mistakes I made in the previous episode. But hey, that's how we learn. And like I said at the beginning of this series, I honestly have no idea what I'm doing here, so I'm figuring it all out as I go. So hopefully this has been entertaining for you, so you can either learn a few things like I have, or just point and laugh because you already knew the better way of doing it. Oh well. Alright, so that's going to be the output for the petroleum gas. Setting up all of the input pipes. And then the same thing up here where the heavy oil is cracked into light oil. And you're going to need a few more pipes. I'm so glad I automated that. It's going to make things so much more handy. There's all the water input and all the light oil input. And then up here, the water input and heavy oil input, which I'm going to bring over. First, I'll start with the light oil. I'll go under those storage tanks over here. Alright, that's flowing in. And the output from the heavy oil cracking will also join in with that. And now I'm bringing over the heavy oil. Get that all connected up. Now the last thing I need is water input. And I figure instead of siphoning water off of the existing line that I've already got set up, I'm going to go ahead and bring in a new line from this little pond down here. Just so it's not interfering with the flow on the main bus, or for the refineries. That should all be taken care of. Now I'm going to just hook up all the power. And there it goes. It should be working. Hopefully that'll help straighten out some of those issues. And now I realize that I don't have enough oil coming into the system. But that's okay, I planned for this possibility. I've got a bunch of pump jacks crafting in my inventory. And we're going to go scout out a few new places, get some more pipes so that I am prepared. And the first stop is over here near my iron mine. There's a couple of little puddles over there, whatever you want to call them. Get all that hooked up, bring this over to my main oil line right there. And now I gotta power it up. And there it goes. That'll help, that'll certainly help. And I've got a few down in the southern portion. I'm gonna go head down there now. I'll go past all my steam engines. There they are, there's 4 of them. One's behind that tree, there you go. Get all these pump jacks from my inventory set up. One's still crafting, so I'll go ahead and get the pipes in place. There's always such a delicate process putting in the underground pipes. Get all that hooked up, get the power flowing. I'll need 2, and then connect it to the main supply up here. And there they go. Now I just got to snake this oil feed up into the rest of the base. And it's going to be a little trickier because I've got a big pond in the way. That over here, get some more research going, and just figure out where I want to put it. And then suddenly there's some biters trying to attack me, which makes me think I might need some defenses down here. Might be a good idea, because I know the pump jacks are one of the most heavily polluting items that you can have, and I don't even have speed modules in them yet. And that's going to make it go even worse. Anyway, here we go, running up right alongside the coal. And the benefit here is that it'll be able to plug right into the line that I've already got set up over on this side. There that goes, and it'll start filling up those tanks a little bit as soon as it all gets up there. So that should take care of all that. And I noticed that the plastic production has come to a standstill, not because there's not enough, but now there's too much. So that's telling me that my factory is producing a lot more than it needs right now. So that's going to be something I'll need to take care of in the future. And in fact, the only thing that's not overproducing right now is electronic circuits, but I'll take care of that in a moment. I was checking on my sulfuric acid production. And it is time to go up here and finally start producing some solar panels. Because I've noticed that my electrical demands are already peaking out, and I don't want to set up another steam engine line if I don't have to. I'm going to go ahead and get this going. Let's see, they need steel, copper, and electronic circuits. They need 3 times more electronic circuits than either the copper or the steel, so I'm going to go ahead and put the copper and steel on a combined line, and then the electronic circuits can be on their own. Here we go, bringing up the steel line. Connect that over, and then the copper line off of the main bus. There that goes. Go ahead and level those out because of the OCD. And now it's time to bring over the electronic circuits off of the main production, the main bus rather. Snake that under where everything will eventually be. One of these days I'm going to have to get some fast belts set up, and then eventually the express belts. I'm not even sure if I have the research yet to build those, but if I don't already, that will be coming along soon. And there that goes. And I'll have to replace all of these belts with the faster variants, which will be nice, of course. Alright, now I'm noticing that the electronic circuits are not producing because there's not enough iron plates coming out. So the best thing to do right now would be to increase that production. Go ahead and get some more of those the electric furnaces crafted up. In the meantime, though, I'm going to need to get rid of that coal line that's feeding the plastic production. That's right in the way. Just making sure everything up here is working properly. And go ahead and set up some defenses over here as well, because I know that these pollute quite a bit as well. Alright, get rid of some of these those steel furnaces from my inventory, because I don't need those anymore. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm just going to route the coal line up from here and around the refineries in the other direction so that they're just not in the way. Alright, bringing that up under all the other things. Try to give myself a little bit of space and then just connect it right back into where it was. That should work. Now I'm going to need some more room in my inventory for this because I'm going to be picking up a lot of coal. Get rid of some of that ammunition. And here we go. We're just getting all that out of the way. It's a big long line of it. A couple of attacks going on, but nothing serious. And there it goes. It filled up my inventory. First I thought about putting an overflow box down there, but I already have one, so I'm just going to use that one up there. And I made it over halfway, so I shouldn't have to do that anymore until, of course, I'm done with it. Get these trees out of my way. And there we go. Now it's feeding up into the proper direction. I'm thinking another good place to have an overflow chest for my coal is down here in the power plant, just in case that goes dry. Because I had one earlier and I had to move it to get rid of the splitters and move the turrets around. I never put it back. So it's there now. Now I'm going to space out my my new line of furnaces. I realized one of the mistakes I made earlier was only giving me 2 spaces instead of 3. In case I ever set up a beacon line along there, I'm going to need 3 spaces. You'll notice there I took off the 2 furnaces from the top of the existing row, so now there's only 10 in each of those columns. Because the last couple of those were not doing anything anyway. Because the output belt was already completely saturated by that point, so they're not doing me any good over there. So they're going to help me out in this new line instead. There's 8 furnaces outputting in this new line, 8 on each side. And I'm just going to go ahead and set all that up. Fast inserters, more research going. I'm going to try to work toward the next military upgrade. And in order to do that, I need rocketry. Alright, yeah, 8 furnaces. I'm going to need some more steel for some more power lines, because I really like to not use the wooden power lines anymore, as these have a slightly better reach to them. And, you know, I could have laid these out in just a slightly more efficient way, but this is the pattern I've always used, so it's what I'm most comfortable with. Now it's time to bring up that output line. Got to move the other output line to accommodate. And there's one of those wooden power lines right in the way. And you can see the output there. It's looking a whole lot better. I realize that there's just some backfill going in there, so that constant output line is not going to last forever. And in order to improve that, I'm going to have to come back over here to my mining outpost, and first of all, take care of that one mining drill that was completely out. I'm going to add in a couple of more to the back. There's only so much that this is going to be able to do unless I want to either build a second line of belts, or upgrade this whole thing to a train station, which will probably happen in the next episode or 2. But for now, I'm just going to use the infrastructure I've already got. There was an attack down here in my stone furnace, which also has led me to realize that it's out of coal. I would like to start building some more walls, so I'm going to pick up some of those stone bricks. And I remembered I had this overflow line of coal over here. I got to make some more room in my inventory. I realize I have a bunch of iron ore. I'm just going to go ahead and stuff those into some furnaces. I got to pick up some more coal. There's an attack down by my steam, doing some damage, and then I realized that that warning's not going away, which means they're still doing damage. There's a biter taking out a section of my wall. Can't have that. I'm going to put up some more defenses along here, because they're starting to get a little smarter about that, so got to stay one step ahead of them. Alright, I'm going to head over here, put some more coal in that box, that should be good, and craft up a bunch of wall sections. The first thing I'm going to do is put up some of these defenses, well, fix that bottleneck right there. And I realized that those last couple of furnaces, or mining drills, are not working as well as they could because that line is saturated. I'm going to reroute that line. Ooh, tanks. I could do tanks. Awesome. Flamethrowers? No, tanks. Military? Nah, tank. Okay. Gotta have me a tank. Alright, in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and put these defenses back up and realize that the 2 turrets that I had here before are probably insufficient as these biters are getting a little stronger. So I'm going to go ahead and put up 4 to cover all of the weak points in this whole mining facility. I'm going to get those set up, and then I'm going to build a wall around this entire area. Just an extra level of defense. It'll include these oil deposits. Got to build me a few more there. More research. The tank is done. And there's alien technology, so I can start getting prepared for the purple science, which is not a major concern yet, but it inevitably will be. I need to put a gate in there so I can actually get in and out. So I'll be able to do that in the future. In the meantime, I'm going to move some of these defenses around a little bit so they can be right up against that wall. Serve a little bit better purpose. That should be good for now, and I can always add more turrets in the future as the biters get more and more aggressive. Alright, I'm going to go here and check on my solar panels. I've got just about 100 of them. A little bit more than 100. And there's some biter corpses up here that make me a little nervous. I'm going to go ahead and put some more defenses up there. But in the meantime, I also need to set up some accumulator assemblers. Those need to be near my battery output. Ideally, I'd like to have them closer to the solar panel production, but for right now, I don't want to be hassled with all of that work. So I'm just going to go ahead and bring it in over here. I've got to give myself something to fix in the next episode, so maybe this will be that thing. Go ahead and bring the iron plates off the main bus. And I need some more underground belts. Bring that all over there and connect it up. Give it some power. And there that goes. Once again, those things craft very slowly as well, so it's going to take a while. Going to go ahead and set up some of those extra defenses. That should do it for now. I don't want to build a wall up here because it'll just end up having to get moved anyway. So instead, I'm going to take the fight out to these biters and take a couple of turrets in case I need to do a creep. But then I realize once I get there, it's just a single spawner in each regard. I can easily take that out with my machine gun. One thing I have noticed up there is that the biters are joined by spitters. First time I'm seeing those in this playthrough, so we have officially reached the next evolution for the biters. Gonna have to start watching out for them now. So it's a good thing I'm starting to build up those walls because that'll help keep them out. Of course, in the future, I'm gonna probably have to start upgrading to laser turrets once I get those upgraded. There's a base over to the west and a couple to the south. Those are probably going to be the main concerns in the future. Get myself a couple of accumulators because I'll have to go out and build myself a solar field here eventually. But for right now, I'm checking out my petroleum gas. There's still not enough in that tank. I'm wondering where it's all going. Just checking out all of my furnaces there. They're not all being used, but that's because I just don't have enough input. But all of my refineries are going. I actually have enough left over, thanks to the checking out that tank down in the south, that I can set up a 5th refinery. I'm going to go ahead and do that. You can never really have enough refineries going. If you've got enough oil, go ahead and do it. Eventually, I should probably also be converting some of this to solid fuel. We'll worry about that a little bit later on. For right now, I'm just going to go ahead and reconnect the outflow pipes up into the petroleum gas. I have to move some of those lights that I just put down. And get that set up. Now I've got to put the inflow pipes where they need to be. And I need to move the oil line just a little bit. Hopefully that doesn't interrupt things for too long. No, I didn't. And there it goes. All 5 refineries are up and running. And there we go. That is the end of my episode today. I hope you have enjoyed this so far. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Azraelle. Never stop building.